shift is a key element to any thriving restaurant or retail space. You need that last crew of the day to prep everything so that the morning crew is happy. Otherwise, there is tension that builds. That can happen with our personal life, with how we choose to close shift our own homes, because even though it might feel good for night you to go to bed with the dishes still out, morning you is gonna be a little pissed. We wanna minimize the tension between your past and present self, even if the past and present is literally divided by less than 12 hours. And we're gonna get inspired to tackle our closing shifts together, because I don't wanna deal with this right now. None of this looks exciting, but alas, we must do it, folks. I don't know why I'm walking away. I need to tackle these dishes. I'm coming back, so let's get to it. Yay, I'm so excited. I can't wait. This is gonna be fun. I define a closing shift as the last hour of the day, or at least the last functioning hour of the day, the last hour of the day that you actually wanna be doing anything that requires energy. Sometimes I have the motivation to go beyond that hour, sometimes I don't, and it's less than that hour, but I typically will try and break it up into 4 distinct categories of focus. First one for me is always the space reset, and today we are really tackling all of these dishes. I put a load in the dishwasher earlier today, so I couldn't put things in the dishwasher as I was done using them, and things have built up. This is not something I want to leave for a future me to discover. Probably will end up spending a lot of the 15 minutes in this kitchen, but typically this will also sometimes involve me just like moving things back to where they're supposed to go in the apartment, giving my office a quick tidy on the desk. Just spending 15 minutes looking with your eyes, and if you see something out of place, just going immediately to bring it to the room it belongs in. You don't have to get into the nitty-gritty of organization and cleaning, but at least like just doing a general tidy. I find being regular with this does minimize the need for intense cleaning organization too. Wow, it just got really dark. Okay, hi. I'm gonna start with unloading all the clean dishes. I'm actually gonna get a timer going because I find a timer really helps you stay on track too. I need this for my sourdough. I find a timer also helpful because then there's a firm ending to this. I have that gene of, oh, I should just keep going when I start something, but I actually think knowing when to stop is also crucial, because if you don't know when to stop, then you're conditioning yourself every time that you start a project that it has to be complete for you to earn rest. So this is just trying to make sure that you can rest and be rest assured that tomorrow things are gonna start on a semi-good note. Dishwasher is empty, and now to fill her up. Now some hand washing. Dishes have been tackled, feeling good. There's about 7 minutes left on the clock. I've got some recycling. Oh my God. No. This I'll take out tomorrow. I have some sourdough waiting to be shaped. So I'm cleaning these counters, but I'm gonna have to re-clean them after I do this. Since I'm spending time in the kitchen tonight, I'm gonna take a microfiber cloth and just do these appliances as well. Quick dusting. I don't quite understand why dust has to accumulate everywhere. This up in there. These headphones go to my bedside table. This can stay there. Glasses for TV shows. Okay. I've got 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock, so I'm also gonna just tidy up this area. Be guided by the fact that if you saw something tomorrow still in the same spot, would you be annoyed? And that's a pretty good principle to follow. That looks a lot better. I got this new mat for rolling out my sourdough to hopefully minimize the counter cleanup. And I just want to give it a wipe down before I start using it. Please excuse me while I do some sourdough. Look at that release. It's just a little sticky, but that's okay. I do a fold, and then I start majorly tucking. Ooh, this loaf is loafing really nice. Look at her. And I just transfer. I think that's one of my best ones. I've been doing some more inclusions experiments. My favorite one so far is definitely the chocolate chip one. I've learned to appreciate the fact that sourdough doesn't have to be that serious, and that it's okay if I make mistakes or if it's not like perfect, because it's all part of the learning process, and honestly it's pretty forgiving, so I'm not too worried. I'm gonna do a little bit of sprinkle. Let's make sure they're all kind of divvied, and we're gonna do that, and we are also gonna do more in here. here. Ooh, we've lost some chocolate chips. No need to stress. It's gonna be fine, I think. Key here is not to overwork the dough. Oh my gosh. Guys, I think these are gonna be my best loaves. Perfect. It's 7:51 and I had to turn lights on. That's how you know it's been a gloomy day. My sourdough loaves are now waiting to be put in the fridge. They're probably gonna sit there on the counter for about an hour, and then I'm excited to bake them tomorrow. I think they're gonna look delicious. Now that I've focused on the more physical reset portion of the evening, I'm shifting over to the 15 minutes I'm gonna use for more of the mental side of things. So I have this one out right now, which is my Paper Republic. These are both my Paper Republics. This is a journal that I tackle in the morning for my morning pages. I have restarted the Artist Way, so I'm getting really back into this. But my baby Paper Republic is one that I do like to try and visit during this portion of the evening because I have one of these journals reserved for happy memory recordings. So this is when, if I had anything special for the day happen, I want to make note of that. I also am going to update my reading journal. This was my little spread for last month, and this is my new spread for this month. Did wrap up a book last night, but I accidentally returned it through Kindle Unlimited before I wrote it down. So I gotta go find the title because I cannot remember it. But my Filofax is where I really feel like I need to just spend some time at the end of the day because it's good to just get out some things in my head. I don't want to go to sleep with it, or I don't want to feel like my brain is the only thing holding on to this like imaginary schedule that I'm creating in my head. So I want to look at my day for tomorrow and write some notes. So I want to shower. I then need to preheat oven, recycling, complete, draft 1, edit. Okay, I'm gonna use one of my blank sheets though at the back to just kind of brain dump some ideas that come to mind that I want to film. Unsure how well you can see that, but it's a super scribbly little note that I want to jot down, but that feels good to get out of my head. So I'm going to move it from the back and put it directly in front of, or in the middle of my plans for the week. So it's right there. That's one of the reasons why this Filofax system is so great, is I can just like move things around. I know everyone's brains work differently, but I don't understand people who don't have any sort of planner in their life. I have to pour everything out of here onto here or onto digital tools. Like I just can't keep it in here. I got one of these for the holidays. I feel very stereotypical influencer them. Excuse the echo, we are in my bathroom. The other week I did a video about why time seems to be moving so fast, and one of the things I brought up was the fact that we're always in consumption mode. And when you are getting unready at the end of the night, I feel like this is one of the opportunities to actually stop consuming and just focus on, you know, taking note of what you're doing to your skin. Earlier in this video, when I was doing the dishes, like that's something normally I would put on music or a podcast or play a YouTube video, whatever. But this is a part of my routine that I have been trying to do more in silence, just to kind of think at the end of the day and give myself a chance to just see what comes up. Because I think sometimes we think meditating is like sitting and observing our thoughts and doing it while staying still, and it is, and I love that type of meditation, but there is ways to invite that energy throughout your day. So that is what we are doing tonight. I think I just realized I didn't put mascara on today. There is no black coming out of that. Did I do my eyebrows? I guess not. See the things that you discover when you're paying attention? I'm gonna let my skin calm down before I tackle anything else. I also don't feel like I've ever done this angle before. Ta-da, here we are. I don't use this all over my face. This is the Lancome Genifique Ultimate Serum. I usually just put some on the palm of my hand or the back of my hand. And then I take a little bit and just dab it on the areas where I'm a bit more expressive. It's some sort of anti-aging serum. Distribute on the back of the hands. Feels too fancy to keep in the bathroom. And I'm gonna follow that up with my CeraVe moisturizer. I like how light this stuff is. I was using something thicker a little bit ago, but like this is really nice for the summer when my face doesn't want heavy cream. I like to label this period of a closing shift as like the selfish quarter, because it's really just stuff that you're doing for no one else but yourself, for your own, yes, like for your own maybe hygiene, but also just because like you want to take care of you. So I don't mean selfish in a bad way. I actually think like we all deserve a little bit of selfish time every single day. I think silence is definitely a tool for turning it into a truly like opportunity to check in with yourself. The final walkthrough is critical for the closing routine to truly finish off successfully. It's when you do things like refill your water bottle for the night. I'm hoping I have enough. I should have refilled it in the afternoon, but alas. I'm also refilling my ice tray because I want to have some good iced coffee tomorrow morning. Oh, we just have enough, guys. I love these little star ice cubes. And then of course, a refill of the big monster jug. This is from Brita. I love this thing. I used to have just like one of the jugs that you pour like this, but this holds so much more. And usually it doesn't get to the very end. I usually am pretty on top of keeping it refilled. The bigger capacity is just the way to go. And then I take my water bottle to the fridge and refill it there most of the time. It's wonderful. I think they still sell these ones, so I'll link it down below. I also can't stand the feeling of my devices not being charged when I'm ready to use them. So I always make sure I put my Apple Watch on my charger before going to bed. And probably my iPad is the next one I pay attention to. My phone is pretty natural for me to be on top of, but my iPad is one that I feel like sometimes I can just get like lazy with. I try and be mindful of that one because then I'll charge it here in the living room while I'm in bed because my phone's usually on my bedside table, even though I should really switch that out. Phone in here, but the iPad in the bedroom so that I don't go scrolling on my phone in the middle of the night, which absolutely never happens. You know, usually this would be something part of more of my physical reset. It's not usually something I do at the final stage of the night, but I see so many little crumbs in this kitchen that I just feel like I need to finish this job or else my morning feet are gonna be crummy. This is why stick vacuums are magical. That took me 2 minutes and now this floor is a lot better. This one is from Shark and I've had it for about 6 months now. Really like it. Turn off the kitchen. Okay. I feel very much so settled and ready to just veg out. I'm prepared for the day ahead. This closing shift had a physical reset, a mental one, a little bit of selfish time, and that final walkthrough that just like put the cherry on top of everything. So this is like my ideal way to just like wrap up the day. But obviously some nights I'm not gonna get to everything. Some nights I don't get to anything at all because I might be out of the apartment or I might be hosting and it's like a completely different vibe for the night, but I try and do this as much as possible. I want to know in the comment section down below though, what is an essential component to your closing shift routine? Like what does that mean to you? Is it only 10 minutes of just tidying up at the end of the day? Does it involve picking out an outfit for tomorrow, making lunch for your kids? Like what are the like, you must do this before you go to bed so that your morning self is happy. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that button so that you can see more videos like this. I love talking about intentional living and small things that we can do to make our lives a little bit easier. And on that note, I think I'm gonna go watch The Buccaneers. Season 2's out. Woot woot. I'm very excited. Okay, bye guys.